Let's get into the wrangle now with Danica DeGiorgio, Sky host, here on the desk with me, and Justin Smith, broadcaster and columnist, joins us from Melbourne, of course. And Justin, look, everybody's got an opinion on the future of the Liberal Party. Everybody in the Liberal Party's got an opinion. So why shouldn't James Patterson throw his lot in there? Hey, keep the debate going.
Absolutely. I think I'm probably the only person who doesn't really have an opinion, because my feeling is why is it the job of someone like me, or even any of us here, Danica or you, Chris, why is it our job to save the Liberal Party? Maybe they actually can't be saved. There's going to be plenty of other people to vote for. Why? You know, they seem determined to self-destruct, and if they can't learn from that last election, like if they can't pick up the lessons of that last election, then they can't be saved. I mean, we're just in an extraordinary position at the moment with the party, to be frank. It's incredible.
Who's the audience for this stuff?
Well, this is the problem, Chris. But that is actually the question. Who is the audience? Because right now the Liberal Party don't seem to have an audience because they don't have a brand. And look, I don't agree with what Senator Patterson said in terms of the Liberal Party shouldn't be going Farage light. I mean, the problem is that you don't want to go Labor light. And that's where they're heading to right now, Chris. They've been talking for ages about a review into the election. We still don't have that document. 12 months away from an energy policy, so they don't have an energy policy. So if you're asking me, you know, what do they stand for? Well, I don't think any of us know. And I also think that they've lost two of their best assets to the backbench.
They sure have.
Andrew Hastie and Jacinta Nampijinpa Price. And they're talking about what the quiet Australians are talking about: mass migration, abandoning net zero. So what direction are they heading in right now?
Yeah, look, I think James Patterson was pretty right on the policy approach. But the point is, you know, don't tell me you're funny, make me laugh. Stop talking about what you should be doing and do it. Here's what he said about culture wars and the idea that the Libs should abandon the culture wars.
Often we are told we should stop fighting the culture wars, but this wouldn't mean that the culture wars stop. It would just mean that we preemptively surrender in them to the left. If we followed this advice, we would be left with a soulless, hollow party which only spoke to the narrowest material aspirations of Australians. It would leave us rudderless in navigating an uncertain world.
Interesting backdrop. It looks like he's in someone's backyard after a barbie, but he's right though, isn't he, Justin? You shouldn't abandon the culture wars. We've got to talk about that stuff. The flag, whether we honour Anzac Day properly, all the rest of it.
I've got to say, I glaze over a little bit when there is talk of the culture wars, because I've honestly got to say I don't know what they mean. I think they should just, honestly, if they can't, as skilled politicians, as intelligent people too, if they can't go out and ask the electorate what they care about, what the problems are, what they think really needs. I mean, generally, stop talking to each other and stop talking to only certain sections of the media. Somebody talk to some people, find out what they care about, and then they might get a clue.
Justin, I actually think that the culture wars do matter, right? And they matter for a number of reasons. One, the Liberal Party can't even define what a woman is right now, yet you've got male sex offenders in jails across the country, in female jails across the country.
That plays out for people like you, but I mean,
hang on,
you go outside, people outside don't care about those kind of things. Come on.
I think they do, Justin. I think people care about what, if their daughter is playing sport against a biological bloke, they're not too happy.
They do. Secondly, Australians want to be able to feel proud of their country. They want to be able to wave the Australian flag. A couple of weeks ago at the Marches for Australia, they were all tarnished with the same brush of being racist just because a couple of neo-Nazis rocked up. There's nothing racist about flying the Australian flag.
There are more than a couple
there. The culture wars do exist, and they need to start but have a spine to start talking about it. And this is the
I didn't say they don't exist. I said they're boring. I said they're boring. And start going out there and start talking to some people about it. It's not a boring topic. It is a topic that is affecting everyday Aussies. And they'll get an understanding of why they lost at the last election. Do you really think that any of that played out for them at all?
Not at all.
At the last election?
Sadly, we're running out of time. This is a culture war that I'd like to carry on for a few minutes, but we're running hard up against the clock. I do want to mention briefly that Time magazine cover we talked about yesterday with Donald Trump on the cover. It's a pretty magnificent cover, you would think. Trump says that Time magazine wrote a relatively good story about me, but the picture may be the worst of all time. They reckon they disappeared his hair. They had something floating on top of his head that looked like a floating crown. They reckon it was really weird. Boy, he's a little bit vain, isn't he? It's just the sun shining through what there is left of his hair.